Hello, come on in. Please settle and let's start with a brand new episode of Endless Opportunities video podcast. I'm so excited about today's episode and I hope you will be as well once you hear the following. By the end of today's episode, you will be fully equipped on all aspects of inattentive ADHD. You will know what it is, how is it presented in adults and mostly in women, why many individuals still remain undiagnosed until later in life, what are some common characteristics of inattentive ADHD, and real scenarios on how it could look like in daily life. We will end this time together with incredible tips and strategies that could really make a difference for anyone that is currently still struggling to do the best out of their inattentive ADHD life. And I have kept the most valuable tip for last, as obviously I want you to stay with me until the end to keep me company, okay? And please keep listening, but only if you are prepared to hear many truths. I will share with you my point of view on different things that it's not always as we see in books or in research. So please be ready for a more out-of-the-box approach, as my truth is not very conventional, but rather fully ADHD. Welcome to Endless Opportunities, the podcast where we explore life with neurodiversity and chronic health conditions. I am your host, Lucy Petrellis, diagnosed with MS at 22 and ADHD at 42. Join us as we uncover powerful stories, share insights and practical tips, allowing ourselves endless opportunities to feel good within ourselves and our life, no matter what. What is inattentive ADHD? Based on the literature and popular descriptions, ADHD, previously known as ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, is characterized primarily by a significant difficulty in sustaining attention and focus for a long time. So individuals with inattentive ADHD often struggle with everyday tasks that require prolonged mental effort and organization. In my opinion, the terminology inattentive ADHD comes from a misleading angle and doesn't fully reflect the reality of the ADHD brain. It's not really a general inattention matter, but rather inattention to tasks and topics a person with ADHD is lacking natural interest and or understanding to it, but are able to put their full attention to other topics that they're fully interested in. And this is happening unconsciously. It's an unconscious selective inattention and an unconscious selective attention matter. The key term is unconscious. Someone with ADHD doesn't consciously decide what are the things, topics, and tasks they are interested in, or that they understand, or that they are passionate about. The selection happens automatically. And when they have to do something they strongly dislike, they just freeze. And this is what we call ADHD paralysis. You will say, okay, don't we all have tasks we dislike at home, at work, that we must take care of? My question is, can you still somehow manage to do the tasks that you strongly dislike and move on with your day, even the days you don't feel like it? Can you push yourself a bit and do them? Because when a person with ADHD has to do a task they truly dislike, or they do not understand the way to do it, the effort to actually do it, to take that step, is very often out of this world difficult. It brings such discomfort that it can drain every cell of the body's energy and gives a feeling of suffocation, as if the person is locked in jail and cannot escape. And this happens regardless of how difficult or simple a task might be for someone. What can make a real difference for people with attentive ADHD and ADHD in general is to address the challenges they are facing in their daily life. Instead of running away from them or pretending they're not there, or even worse, blaming themselves for those challenges, believing it's their fault or that they are just less capable than other people, because that is not even close to reality. So many people with ADHD are struggling because they haven't been given the tools and knowledge to actually understand what ADHD is, to understand who they are, and to finally see how much potential and power they have. And I was one of these people. I spent my entire childhood failing at school, collecting day after day after day very bad grades, as I couldn't understand the way the learning was processed and presented in the classroom. And I ended up believing that those grades, those numbers on the paper, represented my worth. I didn't know at the time that I was actually an undiagnosed ADHD survivor trying to make the best out of my day and even to make it until the next day. Every morning I woke up, I thought that this chronic failure was all because of me, because I was dumb. So how is inattentive ADHD presented in adults? Adults with inattentive ADHD face challenges in all aspects of life, including work, relationship, household management, self-perception, self-love, and more. Adults with ADHD may feel overwhelmed by their responsibilities, leading to high levels of stress and anxiety. And often they could say, I don't know how to do the adult thing, since some daily adult tasks that for some people could seem completely automatic and easy could be very difficult for someone with ADHD. If we take the money aspect, for example, it can be a hassle paying bills, especially on time, to keeping track of expenses, completing a yearly tax declaration, or even managing to easily access their online e-banking using the right login and password. Let's talk about specific challenges in AFAB women with inattention ADHD. In this video, whenever I am mentioning the term woman or women, I'm talking about AFAB individuals, assigned female at birth. The inattentive ADHD presentation in women is often in a way that is less obvious, such as being quietly inattentive rather than disruptive. They don't bother too much. They are more likely to struggle internally, leading to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem, especially due to social expectations. And those expectations can push women to develop compensatory strategies that hide and suppress their challenges, leading to a very delayed diagnosis, often thinking that they are not good enough and they must try harder. Regarding women's sex hormones, menstrual cycles, pregnancy, and menopause can significantly exacerbate ADHD traits, especially when it comes to challenges related to executive functioning and emotional regulation. Women most of the time have endless roles to juggle and to balance between work, parenting, caregiving, maintaining a clean and functional household, being a supportive and understanding life partner and friend, being a satisfying lover, and all that while making sure their appearance is following social standards of beauty that no matter what they do, they're never good enough. And these aspects and efforts are strongly intensifying the already challenging ADHD traits, such as overwhelm, anxiety, accumulated tiredness due to lack of sleep, having to juggle with everything, lack of energy, and then what appears is the RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and this feeling of not being enough. Anxiety and depression are also very present. Higher rates of co-occurrent mental health issues appear in women with inattentive ADHD, which of course makes total sense. After all the chronic suppression, juggling high responsibilities and roles, and the constant need to prove their adequacy during each day of their lives, of course they bring anxiety and all the rest. And that is true for so many women with or without ADHD. Reasons for inattentive ADHD misdiagnosis or late diagnosis. Many individuals with inattentive ADHD are misdiagnosed or remain undiagnosed until much later adulthood for different reasons. Unlike hyperactive ADHD, inattentive ADHD symptoms are less disruptive and more internal, making them harder to notice. We have the gender bias. ADHD research has historically been focusing more on boys, putting aside women. So hopefully soon there will be much more research on girls and women. We need answers. We need focus also on women. Coping mechanisms. Many adults with ADHD develop coping mechanisms that mask their challenges. For example, Someone with ADHD might never be late, but why? Because they have put in place sophisticated techniques that ensure that they are on time. But this doesn't mean that the challenge of time management is not there, but rather it has been chronically dealt with without the person even knowing they have ADHD. And this is something that I have a lot. All my life, I was on time. But nobody asked me what was the process in my mind in order to arrive on time and even to arrive earlier, because I didn't want anyone to think, oh, why she's late, etc., and to judge me and to have negative thoughts about me. So I was always on time. But in order to be on time, it took me so long to plan it and to be sure I'm taking the right path. I'm thinking all the different scenarios that could happen, and even sometimes do the road before, so I'm sure I know how to get there, where is the entrance that I have to take, and all the different details. So clearly, there was a time management issue, but for me, I thought that this is just me. This is how I am. I need to take forever until I'm sure what I need to do to arrive on time. And I was successful. I'm never late, or very, very, very rarely. Another reason for a late diagnosis is that often conditions such as anxiety and depression coexist with ADHD, which can overshadow the ADHD symptoms. Or, in my opinion, these conditions of anxiety and depression and mental health could be a result of misdiagnosed, undiagnosed, untreated, and lack of understanding and knowledge of the ADHD brain and all that goes with it. Of course, someone is going to have anxiety and depression if they're not aware that in parallel with their life, without them knowing about it, they have ADHD or other neurodiversities. The least they could have is anxiety and depression. And we could even feel like they're heroes that they made it so far without even knowing about it. At that point, I would like to share something a bit general with you. Even though it could wrongfully appear recently that everybody has ADHD. It's mostly because for so many years, so many people have been silently struggling and being completely clueless for the reasons of their struggles. It's not the ADHD that has increased, but the awareness and the knowledge of it. This is an era in life that many truths start to finally come out and be addressed. And all these years, many incredibly important topics were hidden due to ignorance, lack of information and research, biased interests, not to the benefit of some people, shame, fear, and many other reasons. If we take a different example of silences, with the case of people being abused, and often chronically abused, society allowing it to happen, pretending it's not there, and then when they finally speak up and request for a change, we hear comments such as, "Oh, so many women are abused today. Now they remember to speak up after 30 years. The reason they speak up finally today is because only now they start to feel some level of safety to talk about their horrific experiences and take the long path towards healing. Silence doesn't make something not being here. Quite the opposite. It's the same for LGBT topics. Oh, now everybody's gay, everybody's trans, everybody's non-binary, everybody has different pronouns. No, all these truths have existed since probably forever. They just didn't have the terminology we need today. Only now, and after strong perseverance, do people want to live their truth and get out of these boxes they never chose to be in. Only now they want to stop suppressing so many parts of themselves, to stop compromising their daily life and happiness, and be seen for who they really are. That is the same for people with ADHD or with other neurodiversities, and also for every human being in general. All we want is to be seen and be proud of who we really are. That is all that matters. Our health and our mental health is all about just that. The right to exist. It's time for real change in all topics and in every direction, for every human being. Now the ground is finally, step by step, starting to be a bit more safe, at least in some parts of the world. And more people finally are speaking up. More and more people demand to be seen and to be considered, realizing that yes, my struggles are real. Yes, I am real. Yes, I deserve to be seen. And yes, I do not accept anything less than being my true happy self every single day of my life, while being respected and appreciated for every aspect of who I am. Did you realize what just happened? I just pulled a classic ADHD, jumping from one topic to the other. But good news, I managed to come back. Okay, let's continue with some common challenges of individuals with inattentive ADHD, which I am dividing in two categories: executive dysfunction and emotional dysregulation challenges. Associated to executive dysfunctioning, we have the following characteristics: struggling to maintain focus on tasks or conversations, struggling with short-term memory, leading to frequent forgetfulness of appointments, commitments, daily tasks, and sometimes even forgetting to eat or using the bathroom. Difficulty keeping spaces and tasks organized, and everything piles up without realizing when did that just happen. Procrastination, a tendency to delay disliked, especially, tasks that require sustained mental effort. Low attention to detail, making careless mistakes at work or in any daily activity. It's as if the sight just skips some elements that are indeed here. It could be someone saying, oh, where are my glasses? Or where is the remote? Where is the remote? And the remote is just here. Time management issues, struggling to manage time effectively, leading to missed deadlines, last-minute rushes, running around like crazy. It's as if there is a different perception of time, which we also call time blindness. We can say 5 minutes or 6 hours could actually feel the same, that one could be not enough, the other could feel too much, but in both ways, 5 hours, 6 hours. Task completion, challenges in completing tasks once they have started, often leaving projects unfinished and jumping from one project to the other. And associated to emotional dysregulation, we can include difficulty managing emotions, resulting in feelings of overwhelm, frustration, and then we have self-esteem, persistent feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem due to ongoing struggles with ADHD challenges that are not properly addressed. So let's go now to my favorite part. I'm ready, I'm so ready. Some of the strength of individuals with inattentive ADHD. Finally, good stuff. Creativity. Many people with inattentive ADHD are highly creative, bringing innovative ideas and solutions to various challenges. Hyperfocus. When engaged, they can focus intensely on tasks they are passionate about, often achieving remarkable results. Problem solving. Their ability to think outside the box makes them excellent problem solvers, capable of finding unique solutions to the biggest problems. Empathy. They often possess strong empathetic abilities, making them great listeners and friends who deeply understand others' feelings. Resilience. Coping with inattentive ADHD made them build resilience and adaptability, enabling them to navigate life's challenges effectively. Innovative thinking. Their non-linear thinking patterns allow them to see connections and possibilities that others might overlook. Curiosity. They have a natural curiosity driving them to explore new interests and learn continuously, leading to a broad and deep knowledge of many topics. Adaptability. They can quickly adapt to new situations and changes, often coming up with flexible solutions to problems. Strong intuition. Many rely on their intuition to guide them, leading to insightful decisions and a strong gut feeling about people and situations. Passion. When passionate about a task or subject, they can become deeply invested and committed, achieving great things. Spontaneity. They bring spontaneity and excitement to their lives and the lives of others, and embracing new experiences. Detail-oriented. When their interest is piqued, they can become highly detail-oriented, noticing nuances and correlations that others might miss. Enthusiasm. Their enthusiasm can be infectious, inspiring, and motivating others around them, fostering a positive environment. Strong advocacy skills. They may become strong advocates for themselves and others, working tirelessly to raise awareness and support for ADHD and for other domains that they feel passionate about. Short break. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it, comment, follow, do all the necessary steps. This is your only way of telling me that what I'm doing is actually supporting you. And this is gonna encourage me to make more videos. Let's talk about real life scenarios on how inattentive ADHD can show up. At home, living alone, individuals with inattentive ADHD may struggle with maintaining a clean and organized living space and doing laundry, dishes, paying bills, and this can be easily forgotten or delayed. They often create unique personalized systems to manage their environment, such as labeling everything or using visual reminders to stay on track. Also, they can create super cozy corners at home that brings them joy, even if the rest of the house is a total mess. At home, living in a couple, partners may feel frustrated by the individual's forgetfulness or perceived lack of contribution to household chores. They often bring creativity and spontaneity into the relationship, which can make life together exciting and dynamic. As a parent, managing both their own tasks and their children's needs can be overwhelming. They might struggle with keeping track of school events, appointments, and daily routines, such as preparing lunch boxes and preparing kids for bedtime. Parents with inattentive ADHD can be highly empathetic and understanding of their children's struggles, often advocating passionately for their needs. As a life partner, forgetting important dates, zoning out during conversations, and not following through on commitments can strain the relationship. They can be deeply caring and supportive partners, offering unique perspectives and solutions to problems. As a friend, they might forget to respond to messages or fail to make plans, leading friends to feel neglected. When they do engage, they are often great listeners and can provide creative and thoughtful advice. At work, when they are employees, meeting deadlines, staying organized, and focusing during meetings can be difficult. They might be perceived as unreliable or disorganized, but they bring creative problem-solving skills and can excel in tasks that align with their interests. When they are self-employed, managing all aspects of a business, from finances to client interactions, can be overwhelming without the structure of a traditional job. While at the same time, they have the freedom to create their own systems and workflows, often leading to innovative business practices and ideas. In a classroom during studies, staying focused during lectures, completing assignments on time, and keeping track of the homework and exam preparations can be challenging. They often bring a unique perspective to their studies and can excel in creative and hands-on learning environments. Planning on going on vacation or a few days away from home, this planning and organizing the details of a trip can be overwhelming, leading to last-minute stress and anxiety and forgotten items. They are often spontaneous and adventurous travelers, making the experience exciting and memorable. At a social gathering, following conversations in noisy environments, remembering names and staying engaged in group discussions can be very difficult. And at the same time, they can be super charming and engaging, full of passionate conversations, and that when they are interested and focused. And often, they are those that are bringing more fun and creativity to social settings. That's why often we're not sure if a person with ADHD is an introvert or is an extrovert or I don't know, as this can really depend on the environment they are in. So let's go now on tips and strategies to transform your everyday life while living with inattentive ADHD. Let's start with some mindset tips. Connect with others with ADHD. Join support groups or online communities to share experiences and strategies. This is very, very important. And this connection can provide a sense of belonging and reduce the feelings of isolation. Find good social media accounts and blog posts on ADHD and educate yourself. Continuous learning can help you better understand your strengths and manage your challenges. Talk about your ADHD. Openly discuss your ADHD with trusted friends, family, or colleagues can increase understanding and support. It can also reduce the stigma and help others to get familiarized with ADHD and even realize they might also have ADHD. So speaking up can help you, and also it can help many, many other people by creating awareness on this important topic, which concerns millions of people worldwide. Next tip, embrace who you are. Accepting your ADHD as part of who you are can lead to greater self-compassion and reduce internalized negativity. We don't need this negativity. Discover your passions and what makes you unique and absolutely amazing. Focus on your strengths. Leveraging your strengths can help you excel in areas where you are naturally good at. Find ways to incorporate those strengths into your daily life. You can even become a specialist and an expert based on that natural strength. And keep in mind that you don't need to be good in everything in life. So allow yourself to be bad in some fields, average in other, and brilliant in some specific domains. Ask for help. Work with a therapist, especially when your mental health is fragile, or with a coach that can help you understand who you are and put in place with you strategies so you can use all the parts of who you are in your best interest. Let's talk about some practical tips now that can support someone with inattentive ADHD. The first, very famous, create a structured routine. Establishing a daily routine helps provide a framework to stay organized and on track. Some repetitive behaviors and practices can reduce the mental load of planning each day from scratch. So put in place some repetitive stuff. Basically, you need a plan with your daily tasks and with your non-negotiables. Even if you cannot always commit and follow all the tasks and the steps consistently each day, at least your non-negotiables must be done. And you're the one setting what are those non-negotiables. Break big tasks into smaller steps. Large tasks can be overwhelming, and breaking them into manageable steps makes them more achievable. And this approach also provides a sense of accomplishment because you complete your little tasks and you're all happy. But remember, your tasks and even subtasks must be realistic. And if they are not, learn from what you thought you would be able to do in X amount of time versus what you actually managed to do in X amount of time. So this is learning. Prioritize tasks. Identify the most crucial tasks and focus on completing them first to avoid last-minute stress. And also then they're out of the way. The nature of the task will help you determine what's urgent based on different factors, such as what is the deadline, what is the importance, what is the impact, what is the consequence in case of not doing that task or delaying that task. So this is your guide. Use timers and alarms which will help you allocate specific time slots for tasks and ensure regular breaks to avoid burnout. Techniques such as the classic Pomodoro technique can be effective, but it's up to you to determine how long you want to stay on a task and when do you want to take a break. But make a decision and set an alarm, or else you will never stop. Declutter your environment. A clean and organized space reduces distractions and improves focus and inner peace as well. Regularly decluttering can make it easier to find what you need, but also to stay productive. And a decluttered environment brings so much more joy and inner calmness, so why not make it look nice by decorating it in a way that matches your personality and unique style with your favorite colors, your favorite fabrics. Exercise regularly. Physical activity supports the functioning of the brain that is directly connected to neurotransmitters that are directly impacting executive functioning, emotional regulation, and all of those guys. So find a variety of exercises that can really help you by alternating them. Don't create just a routine that you will be bored. okay? You don't need to do them every day the same, but find ways to be active in any way you can. Even if it is to do household stuff, put music to your ears and dance around while doing this stuff. Next is very important. Maintain proper nutrition. Probably the most important of all, which is affecting so much all aspects of our body. The point is not just to eat healthy in general, but to eat in a way that supports our and your unique brain and body. We have food like blueberries, like nuts, dates, chickpeas, that are really very good for clarity and also for emotional regulation. And then we have on the other side the poisons that are too much caffeine, too much sugar, too much alcohol, ultra-processed food that is just there available for us. There are so many things out there, and it's up to us to make the right choices. Sleep. If our sleep is not regenerative, our cognitive functioning and overall health cannot work well. They are strongly impacted. So put in place a sleeping setting that you can guarantee, as much as you can control, many hours of good quality sleep and rest. And please don't select the hours you are going to sleep on general guidelines. Don't tell me, 7 hours is usually good. What is good for you is what I'm interested about. This is the right amount of hours. So, last tip and most important one, no matter the task or goal, no matter how your day looks like, no matter your reality, always add elements of joy to it. Do whatever is in your power to make your moments more pleasant, more fun, and in every opportunity. Even if your life is filled with difficulties and challenges, joy must be part of your life even when things are difficult. Our challenges do not define our happiness. We could have everything and still be unhappy, as we could have very little and be happy, or even be ill and still feel some inner peace and gratitude, which are more positive feelings. So especially for ADHD individuals that are lacking the natural hormones of joy and pleasure, find ways to add moments of joy to your life. Listen to your favorite music while doing household stuff. Go for a beautiful walk with your dog once you have finished your short to-do list. Create amazing cozy corners in your home that will make you feel good. Prepare incredible, colorful meals for yourself and your loved ones. And why not turn on some candles on the table? Take yourself to the theater or to movies. I will say it one last time. Add elements of joy again and again. And don't allow any day to not be enjoyed in any possible way. Even if your daily life is very challenging, incorporate to it nice and warm moments. Give yourself that attention it deserves. And you can do that no matter your financial situation, your living situation, your health. Even if it's 5 minutes in different moments of your day, those are your 5 minutes and make them matter. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode on Inattentive ADHD. Remember to share it with anyone you believe could benefit from it. And follow me for more amazing videos and knowledge on living well with ADHD and multiple sclerosis. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time and your focus and attention. And I'll see you on our next episode.